All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining our meeting today and rejoining our meeting, our summit, our Common Sense Summit. Today, we have a very exciting speaker. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. His name is Michael Badnerik. I met Michael in 2004 at the Libertarian Convention, where he was running for president for the nomination of the Libertarian Party. And he won that nomination and against two other really highly qualified prospects and or candidates. And it was because of his knowledge of the Constitution that carried the day. That's what impressed the audience. And it was a very lively debate. And Michael won the debate and he won the nomination because of it. So Michael is a constitutional expert. I've taken his course. I've seen him teach it several times. He also has been very, very involved since he's been in Texas as an exponent of Texas, what we call the Texas independence movement. So rather than, we like that word better than secession, right, Michael?
We do.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to turn this over to Michael. We're going to talk about the advantages to those in Texas and those who may move to Texas if Texas reclaims its independence. So Michael, take us from there. How did you get into this?
I moved from the socialist wasteland of California
Mm-hmm.
to Texas. And within 2 weeks, I fell in love with the Lone Star State. The weather is really nice here, a little bit hot for some, but it's the spirit of independence that runs rampant in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
People smile, they talk to you,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very, very proud of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Texans fly the Texas state flag more than any other state flies their state flag.
Right, right.
I was driving from Austin to Dallas, which is a 4 or 5 hour drive, depending on traffic. And I was counting flags as I went down the highway. And I stopped counting when I got to 500 Texas flags.
Oh my goodness.
And there are clearly more Texas flags than American flags. I mean, we will fly the American flag,
right,
but that's not the one we're proud of.
I occasionally see a Florida flag, but not that many. And in other states that I've gone through, you don't see the state flag very often. Yeah.
I made the comment to my father that no state flies their flag more than Texas. Right. He goes, "Oh, Indiana, we fly our flag." I go, "Okay, you show me." And so for the 2 weeks that I was home on vacation, we found two, and they were both in front of a post office.
Yeah, exactly. And they're the only ones because they have to.
Yeah. So no, Texans are very, very proud. They're stubbornly independent.
Right.
And they have to be. Mm-hmm. Because as people moved into this territory way back when, there was not much here except cactus and rattlesnake.
Comanches.
It was like moving to the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, but there were a lot of Comanches.
Well, there were a lot of Comanches too. People that didn't want you there. They were doing their own version of Homeland Security.
Right.
And it was very, very difficult to live here. So if you were in Texas at all, mm-hmm. you had to be stubbornly independent to begin with.
Right.
And you also had to be really good at it because there were people who were independent that didn't make it. Mm-hmm. And so the only people left in Texas were the ones who were really good at being independent.
Right.
It's a matter of survival, literally.
Right. So there's a tough independent streak, a toughness.
That's correct.
And they like don't mess with Texas is kind of a state motto. And,
that's correct. We are very, very friendly, but behave yourself.
Yeah. So let's get into the reasons why it would be an advantage for Texas for Texas, people in Texas to declare their independence from the US?
Well, if you stop and imagine all the things that irritate you about Washington, D.C.,
Right.
and then say, okay, make all of those irritations go away.
Mm-hmm.
You're going, well, that probably can't happen. Well, it can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen. First of all, Washington, D.C. is really far away,
Mm-hmm.
and your representative is now responsible for like 500,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you call on the telephone,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be lucky if they answer the telephone. I mean, how much influence are you going to have?
Mm-hmm.
If we separate from the other 49 states and literally have Texas reassert its independence, because we were a nation
Mm-hmm.
for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
We fought the Battle of the Alamo, then we fought the Battle at San Jacinto, and we separated from Mexico. We were a country
Mm-hmm.
like Germany, Italy, France, and Texas.
Yeah. And I think you said we even had our own embassy.
We
in
had
London.
an embassy in London.
Right.
And that's important to have other people recognize you as a country.
Right.
You know, if I say I'm an independent country and everybody laughs at you, it's like, well, okay.
Right.
You know, it's like Monaco.
Right.
It's like Monaco's an independent country. It's a resort facility.
Right.
Okay. But when another country has your embassy, they allow you to put up an embassy. That kind of allows you to sit at the big boys table.
Right. Right.
I don't know how many embassies Texas has had, but I do know that we did have one in London.
Okay. So let's talk about money and what the advantage would be in terms of the monetary system and the spending and the debt and the value of currency and all that, because that's a big deal.
Most people are vaguely aware, but really have no in-depth understanding of how our money is being counterfeited by the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the Federal Reserve is not a part of the government.
Right.
It is a private company.
Mm-hmm.
It's not federal. There are no reserves. It certainly is not a bank.
Mm-hmm.
If you and I go into my garage and we start printing $20 bills on my special laser printer, we could watch a movie, drink some wine, and then after we print $20,000 worth of 20s, we can hire a limo, go out for surf and turf,
Right.
and
Have a great time.
we'll be living large.
Right.
Until they catch us.
Yes.
And then they put us in jail for a long time because we
Right.
printed $20,000.
Right. Right.
That's counterfeiting.
Right.
That's what the Federal Reserve is doing.
Yeah.
It has been counterfeiting our money since 1913.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the price of everything goes up. It's not because something becomes more valuable. It's literally because your paper money becomes less valuable.
Right. Right. Since 1913, what the value of the dollars, what was 3%.
It's now it's about 2%, 2 or 3%.
Right. Of what it
Right.
was. Yeah.
That of what it used to be.
And that's exactly from what you just described, the money printing process.
And they no longer even print the money.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just go to a Excel spreadsheet, type in a new number, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have more money than you.
Right.
And they are getting away with murder because they're spending this money. And the more money they invent for themselves, the less your money is worth.
Right. So they're stealing from us.
So they're stealing from us. And they're doing it in a way that most people are totally unaware of.
Right. Right.
It's like playing football and moving the goalpost.
So how is Texas going to change that for the Texas people?
Texas has already built its very own gold repository.
Really?
We own, I don't know, lots and lots of gold in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we are very soon going to be in the process of bringing our Texas gold from New York back to Texas. We've built a repository. It's a miniature Fort Knox for all of your gold and silver, and you individually can go and create an account. So you go to Bank of America, you know, have an account book that says I have X number of dollars. You can go to the repository, and they'll give you a little book that says, okay, you have 100 ounces of gold.
Okay, so in other words, you're going to have a gold backed currency.
It would probably be gold back. It would be a commodity base. It could be oil, could be silver, it could be on anything that you cannot invent gold out of thin air
or oil or gas.
or oil. It's a commodity. It's either gold or it's not.
Yeah, and there's a limited amount.
And there's a limited amount.
And it costs a certain amount to get it out of the ground.
That's correct.
Right.
And so even during the gold rush in the middle 1800s, they only pulled maybe a couple hundred pounds of gold out of the ground. It didn't affect the worldwide,
right,
you know, market.
Mm-hmm.
And so your money would be stable. Right now, people have trouble planning for their retirement,
right,
because they don't know what is going to happen with the economy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have $1,000 right now, and it sounds like a lot of money, but with all the inflation, it may not be worth anything when I'm ready to, you know, quit work.
So Texas, what you're saying is Texas is going to be able to create its own currency for the people
Correct.
of Texas.
Right.
And it will be based on gold and silver or resources.
Right.
And it's going to be probably people are going to want to use that more than just people in Texas.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. It will actually be worth something.
Right. Right. Yeah, this could start quite a trend, couldn't it?
It would be impossible to counterfeit it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Impossible to counterfeit it.
Now, the gold that's in Washington, D.C. now, that's Texas's gold, that is for sure Texas's gold. You're not going to have any problem getting it back out of D.C.
Well, if we're going to have a problem, I will mount a posse and go get it.
Have about 2 million Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get it back. I mean, don't mess with Texas. We are really friendly until you piss us off.
Right, right.
There's a reason the Alamo happened in
right.
Texas.
So this is a very big deal. I mean,
it's a huge deal.
I mean, we could talk about other things, but really having sound money right off the bat is a huge, huge deal for people.
If that was the only advantage,
it would be
worth it to people in Texas to become independent again.
Right, right. So okay, so that I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So and that's a big deal. So what are some of the other advantages?
Well, one of the biggest problems is that people have been lied to. Mm-hmm. They have been told for a long time, and they believe, unfortunately, that secession is illegal. Mm-hmm. First of all, the word secession carries a pejorative tone. It sounds like, ooh, that's a bad thing. Well, secession is the same as independence.
Correct.
Everybody likes independence. It just doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, yeah.
But they've been taught that the Civil War proves that a state is not allowed to secede.
Yeah, it's just not true.
Well, first of all, there was no Civil War. It was an international war. Mm-hmm. You had one country, the United States, against another international country, the Confederate States of America.
Right.
And the northern states simultaneously say, well, the southern states never left, and we brought them back into the, well, wait a minute, make up your mind. Either you didn't leave or you brought them back.
Right, right. You can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways.
Right.
And so the other thing is, if you sincerely believe that secession is illegal, then you're going to have to start saying, hail to the Queen.
Right.
Because the Declaration of Independence is a secession document.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We told King George, goodbye, we're not playing your game.
Yeah.
We're going to start our own country. Mm-hmm. And everybody goes, ooh, Declaration of Independence. Really? Have you read it?
It's a secession.
How many
document.
people have actually read the Declaration of Independence? We did a Independence Day celebration where my friends and I read the Declaration of Independence out loud. And when we were done, this college age girl came running up and she goes, "Can I get a transcript of that?" And I handed it to her. I'm going, transcript? It wasn't until she left the house I realized she thought my friends and I wrote that.
Yeah, she had no idea.
She thought it was wonderful, but she thought we wrote it. She didn't recognize
She had no idea what it
that's
was.
the Declaration of Independence.
Right.
Oh man.
Well, you
So-
just you put your finger on the problem with our whole country. Is we've
Yes.
got at least 2 generations of kids now that have not had any education whatsoever on
Yeah.
fundamental principles our country is based on. And if you don't understand it, you haven't studied it, then you lose your appreciation and you're subject to all of the propaganda against it that
Yes.
they're getting.
Yeah.
So, and then they go to college and, they learn another theory which is completely different than the theory that our country's was based, the principles that our country was based on. So
Whenever I send a letter
yeah,
to California, I always put the name of the city, comma, the socialist wasteland of California.
right.
Some people laugh.
Yeah.
Other people get mad.
Mhm,
And it's like, I don't care if you're mad or not.
mhm,
That's what you are.
right.
And the problem, part of the problem, is that living in California sucks because the taxes are so high and it's a socialist wasteland. And so these people are going, "Oh, I don't like living here anymore." So they're moving to Texas, which I don't mind if you move to Texas, but don't come and vote for the same things that made California the
That drives me
garbage land.
crazy. Yeah. It
It-
happens. Yeah, it's happening in
is
New Mexico,
ridiculous.
it's happening in Arizona, it's happening in Tennessee, it's happening in Florida, where I am. And they people want to get away from the states with the high taxes and they come here and they still vote for higher taxes.
Yeah,
Policies that cost, the government too much money. So it's
you
kind of
crap
crazy.
you crap in your bed and then you want to come and crap in my bed. No, that's not going to happen.
So let's talk a little bit about militarily. How do you see that working out in terms of people are going to say, well, Texas is, benefiting from the military of the United States and they're not going to pay U.S. taxes. That's not fair. What would you respond to that?
Well, we're not going to be using the U.S. military. First of all, I respect all of our military men and women who've taken an oath to protect and defend the Constitution. They are literally willing to put themselves in harm's way.
Right.
And I respect that. But what I don't respect is the US government using our men and women in 130 countries around the world. We're influencing other governments, influencing other economies.
Assassinating leaders of other nations. All
Yeah.
over.
Just casually. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
we don't like somebody. We get this guy killed and we bribe somebody else to do it our way.
Right.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. The Constitution gives us the authority to do national defense. It does not authorize us to do international offense.
Right.
So you want to be a U.S. military person, you come back to the U.S. You stay here and defend the United States.
Right.
Okay. But
in terms of Texas defending itself.
In terms of Texas defending itself, you're going to say, well, why are all these other countries angry with the United States? Well, they're angry because we're influencing their government. We're the ones that are making them mad. Texas will not be doing that. Texas has no benefit to, starting a war someplace. And so if Texas is relatively peaceful, there are going to be a lot of countries that don't want to go to war with us in the first place.
Right.
And if we did, you got 27 million Texans, all of whom are armed. It's like, you got a problem? Come to Texas.
Right.
And you won't have a problem anymore.
Right. And you also have your state, what would be the National Guard, which is made up of Texas, which is made up of Texans, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you've got that. And then you've got your citizen militia
we are
which
going to
is
be
huge.
just fine.
Yeah, so it's not really an issue.
It's not an issue.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not an issue.
yeah, it's not an issue. Let's see, what else would there be? I mean, in terms of trading with other states, obviously you're going to have a free trade agreement, I would imagine, with all the other states.
We would have a legitimate free trade agreement. We
Right.
wouldn't have NAFTA and GATT and all these other things which, tilt the scale one way or another
With anyone in the world.
with anyone.
Right. Just
We
free
would
trade.
adopt George Washington's policy of having, um, economic ties with everybody and entangling alliances with none.
Entangling alliances with none. Exactly.
It's like, it's not our problem.
Yeah.
You guys want to argue, go ahead and fight, but
Yeah.
we're not getting involved.
Yeah.
It's not our problem.
Non-interference.
Yeah.
Non-interference. Okay, so that's that. Let's see, what else is there? I mean,
How about crime?
Crime. Let's talk about crime.
If we decide, because there's a plan right now to put Texas independence on the ballot.
Right.
If we're lucky, Texans will be able to vote next November on whether or not they want to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
If we put it on the ballot, I immediately announce my campaign for president of the Republic of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And if I become president of the Republic, I eliminate all of the gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
There's no gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have good guys and bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, because of all of the gun laws, the bad guys are killing the good guys.
Because they have guns, because they don't follow the gun laws.
And they're bad guys.
Right, right.
So as soon as I become president, we get rid of all the gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
And the good guys, it's going to be messy for about 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
I admit it's going to be a little bit, nah. But at the end of 12 months, the good guys will kill all the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no bad guys left, you only have good guys. Mm-hmm. And now the entire nation of Texas is crime free.
Mm-hmm.
There's no crime.
Yeah.
No, you can leave your doors unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
You could leave your car unlocked.
It just doesn't pay to be a criminal when everybody's armed.
No.
When everybody's...
It can be fatal to be a criminal.
Exactly. And well, they understand that. And
it's so like, how many people will want to move to Texas because, well, you could let your children play out in the front yard because they're not going to be kidnapped.
I'm going to bet, my bet would be that when this happens, if it happens, that as soon as Texas declares its independence, there's going to be a lot of criminals leaving the state.
We'll buy one-way bus tickets for you.
Yeah. It's not going to pay to commit crime in the state.
We'll ship you back to California, back to New York, back to Illinois, wherever the heck you came from.
Yeah. So trade should be enormous because you're going to have free trade with the whole world.
At the moment,
you can have a stable currency.
Stable currency. Zero crime.
Zero crime. It's sounding like paradise.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
And all we got to do is follow these steps. It's not a question of, oh my gosh, how do we do this? I've got the plan. Mm-hmm. We know how to do it. We just have to have the courage to.
So where does it stand right now in terms of, how many people are for this? What kind of an organization do you have? What are you specifically planning on doing to make this happen?
I don't know how many Texans are in favor. I can't give you a percentage because I didn't do a poll, but if you talk about Texas independence, they don't laugh at you.
Right.
They may go, well, okay, but I don't think it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But they don't say, well, you're smoking something.
No, right.
Okay? So Texans are in favor of it. Mm-hmm. And right now we have a legislator in the state capitol, Kyle Biederman, who has proposed this bill that will not cause Texas to secede, but will allow Texans to vote in a referendum in November.
Beautiful.
And my plan is to spend a lot of time in the Capitol during our legislative session
Mhm.
and talk to as many representatives as I can and say, look, if you vote yes, that does not mean we secede. It merely means that Texans get a chance to decide.
Right.
And if you're a representative, if you're trying to do what Texans want,
Right.
you don't know what that is unless you put this on the referendum and let us vote for it.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's possible that Texans, not enough Texans would vote for it.
Right.
I think there would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were telling me that you have a PowerPoint on this, that if people are interested in
I have.
learning more about Texas independence, we won't call it secession, we'll call it Texas independence. You've got a PowerPoint presentation that you can go through, and you've done like a video with the PowerPoint presentation. So
people can go to my website, which is badnerik.org, BADNARIK.org.
Okay.
Go to my video menu, and there it is down on the list.
Should we go through a few of the slides right now?
We can, certainly. Absolutely.
All right. There we go. Okay.
Okay. The presentation will demonstrate that independence is moral and, most importantly, legal. I eliminate the idea that, states are not allowed to secede. That's not true. It's commonplace. It happens all the time. It's really, really good for anybody living in Texas, and it's attainable. We can do this. There's nothing in fact, it demonstrates that there's no good reason not to do this.
Yeah, I read American Secession recently by Buckley, which was a lot of it was studies on whether countries are happier, smaller countries are happier than big countries, and smaller companies are less corrupt than big countries. And then he just went through all the examples of people splitting off, like all the USSR, and how much happier those people are than being in a big, huge country that was top down, control oriented. So,
So the Texas Constitution says that all political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority. It states, even better than the Declaration of Independence, that the government works for us.
Yeah.
And so, we don't have to argue that in Texas.
Right.
But it's commonplace. If we go to the next slide. When you and I grew up, there was a country called the USSR, the United Soviet Socialist Republic. And in my lifetime, and very recent lifetime, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, all these countries have left the USSR and become an independent country
within the last 30 years.
Yes. And that's not all. You go to the next slide. All of these countries, 9 countries left and became independent on Christmas Day, 1991.
Yeah.
And so when you and I were growing up, there were 100 countries in the world. Now there are 200 countries in the world.
Right.
Where did these other 100 countries come from?
Yeah, they just split off.
We didn't have a volcano in the Pacific Ocean creating a new country.
No.
We just took one big country and diced it up into little smaller pieces. And as you say, people are happier when they have more control over the government.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it shows here that in the United States, Texas has the second largest GDP. Only California makes more money than we do. So we've got $16 trillion. Well, if you take that number right now and move it over to the world, we would be number 10, right after Brazil, and better than Canada. That's if Texas seceded tonight. Wow. And with independent money, that you cannot, and people moving in, I figure it'd be a year or two before Texas was like 4 or even number 3.
That's amazing. You have Texas has a higher GDP than the country of Canada.
Yes.
And almost as much as Brazil, which is a
Yes,
big country.
yes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
Texas was an independent country, and we can be an independent country. And I think that we should be
Right.
an independent country.
This is beautiful stuff right here.
This is the repository. You can go and create your very own account,
Mhm.
and you don't have to start it with a whole lot. You could just have, I don't know what the requirements are. I don't have an account
So
that
this
has
is the
the
first
requirements.
step to,
This is a first step,
yeah.
but the Texas Bullion Depository already exists.
Mhm. Mm.
It's already there. This is not some pie in the sky one of these days.
Right.
It is there right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
This is a map of the electrical grids in the United States. You got the western states that are on one system, the eastern states are in another system, and they're all electronically tied together.
Mhm.
So that when California has a rolling blackout, it has in the past kind of knocked down stuff in Nevada and Oregon, and
Right.
we're all in this together. Look at that green spot. Texas has its own electrical system,
Wow. Wow. Almost the whole state. There's a
almost the
little
whole
bit up here in
state.
the panhandle that doesn't, but
That's right. And then a little bit down in the eastern side right
right.
there. But
Right.
it wouldn't take us very long. The wires are already there. All we would have to do is buy that from whoever owns it right now. We wouldn't have to build anything.
That's
And
another big thing.
and
Energy
yeah,
independence. Energy independence.
yes.
Country
And
would be energy independent. Totally.
yep, absolutely.
Wow.
And this is what the new map will look like.
Mm-hmm.
And and this is the this is what I am hoping for. Whenever I have a birthday, I blow out the candles on my cake, and this is what I wish for.
Yeah.
Oh
Now,
man.
I think Texas and France are about the same size, right?
Texas is bigger than France. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, well, this is awesome. That's the last slide, right?
Yep.
Boy, that's great. So
So they can
Badnerik,
go to my website.
Badnerik, Badnarik, badnerik.org, folks. You can go there and watch Michael's video and learn all about this and tell your friends and get ready to move to Texas if you're not already there.
When I show this presentation to people, the only questions they have are when and where can I vote?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that nobody knows about. It's just very powerful and very compelling reasons why this should happen. And I think it would send a message to everybody else throughout the country that being independent and getting back to the founding principles our country was based on is going to create prosperity, and it's a good thing to do. So who knows what impact this will have in the rest of the country, but I think it'll be very positive.
It would be very positive for not only the United States, but for countries around the world.
Yes.
Texas would become an example of the right way to do it.
Right, right. And counter all of this nonstop propaganda, for the one new world order and the international government and the UN and all the nonsense and horrible stuff that comes out of there. And it's all, in the name, like climate change, it's all in the name of, we're going to save the planet and we're going to improve the environment. And it's all total baloney. It's all about control, and social justice.
There's only going to be 3 crimes
right
in the Republic of Texas. There'd be for murder, for theft, and for lying.
Yeah. That's
murder,
right.
Theft, and lying, and all those are going to be capital offenses.
Yeah, I mean, when you lie to somebody, it's stealing. That's fraud. That's what fraud is. There's
Absolutely.
only needs to be two laws. One is always do what you agree, what you say you're going to do. In other words, if
That's
you've made an agreement, you have to follow through on your agreement. That's rule number one. And number two is don't mess with anybody else's stuff or their person. It's
That
just
is
so
the
simple.
basis. That's the basis
Common law.
of civil and criminal law.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite
That's it.
literally.
Yeah.
Criminal law is when you damage something, and civil law is when you don't keep your word.
You really don't need books and books of law books with
No,
regulations in it. You just have two little
no.
rules there and
When
make sure
you're
people follow them.
6 years old, you learn the difference between right and wrong.
Right, right. And if you do commit a crime, if you have harmed somebody, then you have to compensate them.
Yeah, well, they will probably deal with it themselves.
Yeah, of course, in Texas they will. But
When I was running for president, people were asking me what I thought about capital punishment. And I said, well, I'm in favor of it at the moment of the crime. When you come up behind me at the ATM and say, I will take your $200, that's when you enforce
right.
the death penalty.
Yeah, it saves a lot of money, a
Yeah.
lot of time and
And
energy, court costs and lawyer costs.
Yeah, that's right. And when you do that all the time, nobody's going to be coming up
Right.
and taking
Right.
your money. In fact, you'll get all of this money out of the ATM and start to walk away, and somebody go, excuse me, sir, you dropped one.
Right.
Michael,
this has been absolutely fantastic. Really, really exciting. I learned a lot about this tonight. I think anybody watching is going to be very enticed by this. And I'll just say it one more time. If you want to watch Michael's video, go to Badnerik, BADNARIK.org, and check out this video. Tell all your friends, tell everybody that you know to listen to this, because this is big. This could influence everybody all throughout the country and the world. So
I love it.
Michael, I think this Michael's just moved to Texas. We've been friends for a long time, and he's buying a Dodge Charger tomorrow.
Challenger.
Excuse me, the Hellcat.
No, I can't afford the Hellcat version yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
I watched that video you told me about where the guy was running for the police helicopter.
Yes.
I watched that video tonight.
Yeah.
Unbelievable car. Oh, you're going to have so much fun. Congratulations. Let me see when you get it. Send me a picture. All right. Well, thanks so much, Michael. We really appreciate it. Anything else you want to say to our audience?
Feel free to contact me if you have questions. It's difficult to get your brain wrapped around this when you've been inundated for so long.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like going into Alice's Wonderland.
Right.
But, call me on the phone, send me an email. I'm happy to
walk
you through it.
Yeah, and you have a lot of information on the Constitution because you've been teaching the constitutional knowledge and Bill of Rights courses and everything for decades. And you have material on that probably still available for people. Yeah.
If they want it.
If they want it. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully they'll begin to want it real quickly. We need that.
All
right.
We need it.
Thank you so much and have a great, great evening. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.